What the fuck is?
What the fuck is up, motherfuckers? Hold up, we gotta do that again. Hold up, we gotta do that again. Oh shit, nigga, nigga, we in this bitch, nigga. We doing this shit from now on. This the new format. This how it go. Know what I'm saying? We keeping this shit live in effect. Pay the cost, motherfucking TV. Louis Automatic in this bitch, acting a fool. Yeah, nigga. Say something, bitch.
Damn, that shit was crazy. Anyways, we back up in this motherfucker. Oh. Pardon me. You're far too kind. Damn, this shit is fun. Nigga just fuck with this shit all day. Alright. Enough of the sound effects, you feel me? Welcome back. Paid the Cost TV. You're back with your boy, your host, your favorite, your man Louis Automatic, you know what I'm saying? Oh man, it's just so much shit going on, man. Everybody talking about Will and Jada, you know what I'm saying? It's a war going on, peace, you know what I'm saying? Everything going on out there. Streets of Detroit is on fire as always, man. It's a lot of shit we could talk about here going on in America, man. Relationships, people dating. But, you know what I'm saying? I like to keep this show really topic, you know what I'm saying? Since we first started off, I'm keep it kind of hip hop, you feel me? Stick in my realm of expertise, you know what I'm saying, as far as entertainment and all this stuff. So what I want to break down is a thought came to me, you know what I'm saying? Tell me, you know what I'm saying, what y'all feelings about this. Make sure my levels are right, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. Make sure, you know what I'm saying, some of you might look at me and say, okay, this nigga got on a pink polo, you know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? What's with this? What's with this new get up? Well, today's show is dedicated to Kanye West, man. I know he's a controversial figure. So a lot of people love him, so a lot of people hate him, you feel me? When I hear talk about his political views or his views on people, I mean, I understand everybody is sensitive to, you know what I'm saying, specific topic. I know it's caused a lot of chaos and a lot of, you know what I'm saying, feelings on both sides. I'm here to talk about this man's musical output. You feel me? Ultimately, his place in hip hop. And, this might be a controversial statement. You let me know. But this is just a statement. It's more of a conversation piece, at times, I've been under the influence of Kanye West's music. I've made statements on Facebook saying that he might have been the most influential artist of all time. I might have been pushing it right there, but it depends on who you ask, and it depends on what metrics you use to judge by influence, right? And I mean, it's hard to judge. I mean, eras. For instance, I guess Shakespeare would be considered an artist. I mean, I don't know if he necessarily wrote music, but goddamn, we've been talking about a writer like Shakespeare for hundreds of years, right? Even somebody like Chuck Berry, the inventor, creator of rock and roll, he and Little Richard. I mean, we acknowledge their position. Well, we try to keep their name up. The media pretty much try to whitewash them out of existence. You feel me? They only bring them out, you know what I'm saying, on special occasions and shit. But, we black folks, pay the cost TV. We gonna keep it alive. But, basically what I'm saying, there's a lot of pivotal people in the history of music and compositions and writing. I ain't got time, Mozart and all these people like Beethoven and all this shit. So I guess, you know what I'm saying, it might be a bit of a stretch to some to put Kanye in that type of realm. But I got the definition of pivot. I don't know if it's the Webster's dictionary, but I got it off Google, so blame the Google scholar in me. All right, pivotal. I have the definition right here. Of crucial importance in relation to the development or success of something. Okay, so we got to break that down. There's a lot of pivotal artists in the history of hip hop. I mean, Run DMC, LL Cool J, Grandmaster Flash and the Furious Five. We taking it old school. Kool Moe Dee and Treacherous 3 and all them. And we got to fast forward to the NWAs. They brought gangster rap in the forefront. The whole Native Tongue, Tribe Called Quest, Arrested Development, all that, flavor. Wu-Tang. I mean, Pac, Biggie, that whole era, you feel me? But, I mean, the list goes on, people like Jay-Z. I mean, he's probably the Some would say the greatest rapper. I would say the greatest rapper if you include everything: career success, accolades, records sold. He's an A+ rapper as well. He checks storytelling, flow, metaphors, lyrics, story. A+, right? We get that. But you know what I'm saying, when you say of crucial importance in relation to the development or success of something, right? I look at Kanye West as the bridge. What do you mean? On his first album, he said, "I'm the gap." He's no matter of fact, let me take it back. He said, "You can call him Quali or Quayle. I put him on songs with Jay." Now this is a point I'm gonna have to come back to on several points. He said, "You can call him Quali or Quayle. I put him on songs with Jay-Z. I'm the gap like Banana Republic and Old Navy." Now, what is he the gap? He represents the gap between, the what you would consider backpack hip hop and, mainstream or gangster rap. You feel me? And I say gangster rap because, we know Kanye, he produced, for some of the, biggest street artists, the Benny Siegels, Jay-Z, Scarface. These are actually how we know him. But, to bring it back just to, his overall influence, he's coming from Chicago, so he definitely had, his own Chicago influence. But when I look at Kanye, I automatically pluck him from the Tribe Called Quest Q-Tip tree. So let's start there. Jay Dilla, because Jay Dilla produced for Tribe, but so let's take it there, Kanye West as an artist and as a producer, you can harken back to the Tribe, Dilla, who else? Pete Rock, Premier, like even on the song with Slum Village, Kanye said the new version of Pete Rock. You feel me? So as you see, I got the pink polo on. Kanye, as the artists who were aligned with, Tribe Called Quest, Native Tongue, he's not a thug, you feel me? Kanye West isn't a thug, but what Kanye West did was he bridged the gap. And I would say from a mainstream perspective, Kanye West is the first big time mainstream urban hip hop artist to make not being a thug fashionable. He made it cool to not be a thug. You feel me? So as we, pluck him from the Tribe Called Quest tree, I did this offhand. I didn't actually do the research. No, I am like a mini hip hop historian. So I pulled like from my, my vast memory bank, Kanye was in Atlanta. He was producing for Jermaine Dupri. So you have to look at the branches, you feel me? He comes from just as a producer, no ID. Let me start there. Before I could even take it down to Atlanta, we have to start back in Chicago because R.I.P. Miss Donda West. She was an instructor at Chicago State College, I believe, and one of her students was a guy who ended up being, it wasn't No ID, was it? It might have been somebody else, because I remember it was on the documentary. But anyway, she introduced him to some young men who was producing in her college, you feel me? And I believe these were some of the Kanye's day ones. And, eventually No ID, got caught he got hooked up with No ID, you feel me? And that was originally his first, that's, I guess, like the first tree that he comes from is the No ID tree. And also his people in Chicago, shout out to them. I can't think of their name offhand, but I do remember they were in the documentary, you feel me? But, so he, through his Chi-Town peeps, he gets to Atlanta. He was already producing for other people in Chicago, but he gets to Atlanta working with JD. I believe he worked with Harlem World, you feel me? And then he ended up getting his beat to Benny Siegel, which was The Truth, you feel me? So basically, now we know he's an up and coming producer, you feel me? But when he got linked in with Rockefeller, Kanye West, along with Just Blaze, is responsible for the Rockefeller sound. And to be honest with you, Jay-Z became a superstar rapper after Hard Knock Life Volume 2. But I feel like it was around that 99, Hard Knock Life Volume 2. But around that 99 to 2003 time, that's when they started working with Kanye, Just Blaze. 2000, they start developing the quote-unquote Rockefeller sound, you feel me? And I feel like that was like the bedrock of what made Rockefeller special because, they had them soul beats that Jay-Z, Cameron eventually would come to the fray. I know Just Blaze produced Oh Boy, but Jay-Z, Siegel, Bleak, Cameron, State Property, Young Guns, and then from there, Kanye was able to branch off and work with Scarface. I got somebody right here. Oh yeah, and then eventually Alicia Keys. You feel me? So Kanye, in that short period of time, maybe let's not even say a short period of time. Let's just say up until the College Dropout release, from let's say 2000, 2001 to 2003, 2002 even, he he became basically one of the hottest producers in hip hop, along with the Neptunes. You know, Drake was doing his thing, putting out his whatever. But Kanye, he he basically changed the sound of hip hop, you could say, because everybody started making soul beats. You feel me? Kanye, everybody started making soul beats, and then basically we gonna fast forward from the Kanye tree. You feel me? You get the introduction to Lupe. You feel me? You get the introduction to John Legend. Now here's where it gets deep. Kanye is responsible. He signed Kid Cudi, or he brought Kid Cudi to the forefront. And from the Kanye and Kid Cudi tree also comes Drake. Now, there's a whole litany of producers that were inspired by Kanye West, and a whole litany of, kids who were inspired by Kanye West. But I would say that, his influence to bring in Cudi and Drake, this can't be overlooked, because Drake, he just tied Michael Jackson for like the most Billboard 100 hits. And Drake is a direct descendant of the Kanye Kid Cudi tree. You feel me? So much so, Kanye directed the video, his first big time video for Best I Ever Had. And if you notice, they've had this spat back and forth. You know what I'm saying? Because without a Kanye West, you don't get a Drake. He's like, the first time we heard Lupe was through Kanye. Kanye introduced like a palette to hip hop. He introduced the palette to where it's like, okay, he's like the first hip hop. I can't say he's the first tastemaker, because hip hop always had class and sophistication going back to the 80s. I mean, you had people like just speaking like as far as like somebody from the disc jockey or pundit perspective, or somebody on TV, like people like Fab Five Freddy, people like Downtown Julie Brown, just taking it all the way back for those who remember. You feel me? Like, hip hop always had people, Torre. You feel me? Hip hop always had people that was like sophisticated and, brought nuance to hip hop and gave it this sort of elegance. You feel me? And kept it, where it was supposed to be. But I feel like Kanye as an artist, he was the first one wearing blazers, like on the mainstream level though. Like, and I mean, hip hop artists, I mean, they've had different flashes and styles and stuff, but Kanye, he had a backpack, but it was Louis Vuitton. You feel me? It was a Louis Vuitton backpack. And yeah, he wasn't a tough guy, but he produced for all the tough artists. And I feel like he was the first rapper to really break the mold. You feel me? He's the first artist I feel like was truly himself, because it was like, if you gangster, you had to be 100% gangster. If you was like conscious, you had to be 100% conscious, and those two things couldn't sway. But on the Kanye album, you had Twista. His first album, you had Twista, Jay-Z, Common, Talib Kweli, motherfucking GLC. You feel me? Like, you know what I'm saying? GLC, that's a gangsta out of Chicago. It was holding Kanye down, you feel me? Goddamn, hell, you even had Consequence on that motherfucker. Shout out to Consequence. I don't want to mad at me and shit, but like, you know what I'm saying? It's just like, I don't know, bro. Kanye, he like what he was able to encapsulate especially when he first came out with like College Dropout. It was like, it wasn't like the biggest selling debut album of all time, because 50 Cent get Rich or Die Trying. He was like super gangster, you feel me? But like, I got it written down right here. Like, now I brought it back to like I remember I said like the gap, like Banana Republic and Old Navy, and ooh, I make it sound sweeter than Old Sadie. Kanye is the first major rapper who made it cool not to be a thug. He's the first mainstream rapper to have mainstream influence who was overtly not a thug. Meaning that Kanye, like, you know what I'm saying, like, he was like the first one who people respected. He overtly came out and said, "I'm not a thug." You feel me? He was the first like mainstream rapper to embrace, I guess you could say, LGBT. You feel me? Because he didn't like the homophobia in hip hop. From the off the rip, he preached kind of against the misogyny in hip hop. He wanted women to have their voice. You feel me? I mean, we can't neglect just some of the stuff he did off record, like the I mean, some of the erratic behavior, but like the George Bush don't like black people, like it was a horrible example, but with the Taylor Swift shit, I mean, he's always he's always sparked conversation, and he's always, I feel like he brought hip hop to a bigger place, whether you love him or hate him. Kanye West, he always raises the conversation for hip hop and brings it into different rooms. Without Kanye West, hip hop wouldn't be in certain rooms, and that's how you get again from the Kanye tree. You get the Virgils. You feel me? Now you got Pharrell working with Louis, R.I.P. Virgil. You know what I'm saying? But you get Pharrell working with Louis. You feel me? I mean, even like even though ASAP and them, they took a lot of their influence from Houston, Texas. You could tell. Kanye just stylistically, his approach to just the way he carried it, for lack of a better term. You feel me? Kanye West was always he was just always somebody who, he was of a different ilk, but we had to fuck with it. Even the gangsters, you feel me, they had to fuck with it, just because like when he came out, the shit was real. Not to mention, like, as a producer, like the resurgence in Common's career, Big Sean, me being from Detroit, like you know what I'm saying, like he brought out Big Sean, who introduced the super duper flow. Now it's been done before, but I mean, he proliferated it. He made it, you know what I'm saying, to where it's okay. He changed the flow of the game. Even Drake had to adopt it, and that's really what helped Drake early on. Then from Sean, the super duper flow, the Detroit, he was basically the first mainstream black rapper from Detroit. So we have to give Kanye his credit in that. He broke Big Sean, the first mainstream black rapper from Detroit to really get on for real. You feel me? So, and he did the Slum Village record, which I said before, and he did a record with Royce called Heartbeat, if I'm not mistaken. That was like one of the mixtapes. So, I mean, the Pusha T with the good music. I mean, like I said, like 2 Chainz, he eventually, I think he collaborated with Good Music at some point, but I know he was doing his own thing. But even with the birthday, the big booty, and all that shit, you feel me? I think hands down he has to be the best rapper producer of all time. I mean, with all that being said, I don't think it's a way you could say anybody. I mean, there might be somebody else who you could say is probably more skilled as an MC, but let's just be real. Kanye West, I mean, just his overall just full coverage of the game. You feel me? It's like you can't put nobody above him. Me personally, I mean, you could say Dr. Dre, but just Kanye's output as an MC and as a producer, and just doing so many different, I mean, he's produced so much shit. I know I'm missing so much shit. Like I said, I've kind of freestyled it. And then we go into fashion. He's a fashion icon with the Yeezys, man. Like, I mean, he's like, this is like the first rapper shoe that became like some real shit. Not this, like, you know, Jay-Z had the S. Carter, you know, 50 had the G Units. You know, they got the Birdman lugs and the Funk Flex lugs, and it was like, remember the Hurricane games? There's been a lot of shoes that came from different rappers. And, you know, they do their Nike collabos, their Air Force One collabos, but like with Yeezys, Kanye really made like a standalone product to where it's like that shit, you know what I'm saying? Yeezys was selling like a motherfucker before like the whole shit happened, but we ain't even gonna get into that. So I mean, like, it's definitely a debate. And I mean, like, people could obviously say Tupac, but I mean, Tupac was only here for 5 years, and it was just like the sheer goriness and violence of his death. I mean, Pac is forever legend. I'll listen to his shit today, but that plays a part in the mythology and the mystique of Pac. Kanye's still here, and I mean, this nigga didn't cause so much ruckus, man. And you feel me? You know, he got some more shit up his sleeve too. So, hey man, I think that I'm gonna go back to this definition of pivotal again, of crucial importance in relation to the development or success of something else. So when I say, I mean, like I said, there's been a lot of, I mean, if you were a hip hop purist, if you come from the 80s, or if you was there from the beginning, I'm sure there's some executives and some DJs and some people that could say some other names, but it's like Kanye West, I mean, that name stands alone, and I mean, it's hard to put out a name that's bigger as far as influence and, like I said, putting hip-hop in some other doors. Kanye has truly put hip-hop in some doors that it wasn't in, definitely with fashion, and just I would feel like somewhat in pop culture in general, because rappers have always went pop, but not with the sophistication initially and the, cause Kanye West. I mean, even Hammer was a thug behind the scenes. You feel me? Like Kanye, like he was like he was who he was on and off record. He was just Kanye, and let's not forget he beat 50 Cent in '07. And I was a 50 Cent stan. You feel me? I was a G-Unit soldier myself. So for Kanye to beat 50 Cent when Graduation went against Curtis, that signaled the shifting of the guard, and that's another point that can't get. I'm glad I was able to bring that up. That's something that can't be overstated. That was a shifting of the guard, so to speak, when Kanye was able to defeat 50 Cent, because that showed that okay, hip hop is accepting something new. That's when I say like that pivotal, like that's when the pivot happened. I can truly say that that's when the pivot happened. That's when you began to see a change in hip hop, when Kanye West with Graduation was able to defeat 50 Cent with Curtis. And like I said, in my head, I was a G-Unit soldier, a G-Unit stan myself. But I noticed that when Kanye West was number one and Curtis was number two, hip hop kind of changed after that. Matter of fact, I would even say the people of my generation kind of changed after that, because that's when it kind of like the ushering out of the tall tees and shit. And that's when, right after that, it seemed like, that '08, that's when everything was like, what was that? You a jerk? I don't know. That might have came out a little bit after that, but I could say that that's kind of like when shit started to change though. When Graduation, because you gotta think about music influences people. When 50 Cent came out, that Get Rich or Die Trying, the streets was on fire. Then Jeezy came out, streets on fire. When Kanye came out, shit was kind of different.